There you go.
Muted.
You want me to mute it, bro? Okay.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What's up, y'all? You know what it is. It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, and it's your boy Brian Forbes, and you know what we about to do. We bouts to get it in, and we're going to talk about everything, what? Everything stepping, because y'all know that's what I talk about. That's what we do. Dr. Francine is in the building. How you doing, baby? She say, we are here. That means her and Reggie Miles and Conversations is on deck. Dennis Howard Hodges all the way out of San Diego. What's happening, my Mellow? Straight from the crib. Linda Sanders in the building. Linda, you let two people beat you on today. Linda, me and you going to have a long talk because I am so accustomed to you being the first one chiming in. But you know I love you. Always. How is everybody? Bernice Newsom Short in the building, all the way from Frisco, Texas. I see you. James Chisholm. What's up, family? I see you, my brother. Listen, y'all, it has been an active and busy day. What we got going on over here? You know, man, look, the producer lady falling out on the job, y'all. She gonna get fired. I'm finna fire. She over here on her cell phone. She finna get fired. The producer lady about to get fired. You heard me. Beamer Johnson in the building. What's up, Beamer? Beamer Johnson with the big boy event coming up next year, y'all. Stepping in Elegance. You are not going to want to miss this because there's going to be a whole bunch of good stuff going on out there. Francine says she laughing. She laughing at you. Tell the truth, Francine. Francine say crazy day. Absolutely, it has been. Yeah. Joyce Taylor in the building. How you doing? Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a fantastic show tonight because I have two dynamic guests that are going to be joining us. And I promise you, y'all gonna, now who the hell is that? Is that somebody calling here? We're gonna have a dynamic show tonight. Damn, y'all, I'm sorry. Because we have two fantastic guests. And you know, you guys, I'm always on that whole people you should know thing. And I have two people here tonight that you most definitely should know. And if you, matter of fact, you might already know them. But we're gonna find out real quick. If you do or you don't, but if you don't, by the time this show is over, you're going to sure enough know who they are. And they're going to give you a whole earful and a lot of information, a lot of good, pertinent, important, good stuff that, you know, it's just important in this community, you know, stuff that, you know, you need to know. Things you didn't know about. And it's always good when we learn stuff that we don't know about, because then we become knowledgeable. And that is very, very important. So, with that said, you guys, before I get way deep down into this thing, Kenneth Wynn, Norma Wilson in the building, one of my fun girls. What's up, Zoe Lorenzo? Moore is in the house. Margaret, Simple Shoes Ray, I see you. Dallas Brown in the building. Joyce Taylor. Y'all listen to me. It has been one hectic and hell of a day. And I want to, well, I guess before I make too much of this, I want to tell y'all something that I find that's very, very important. Aside from myself, my partner in crime, Mr. Reggie Miles, I want my audience to understand something very, very clearly. He and myself are very honored to be self-proclaimed, if you will, voices of reason in this community. In recent days, we've had some interesting events take place. And needless to say, when these events take place, the phone lines of the media groups of the Steppers community tend to blow up. And every last one of us have heard from someone in this regard. And if you don't know what I am referring to, I'm going to give you the heads up now because I'm going to discuss what we're going to do. Over the weekend, there was some controversy surrounding a contest. My dude out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Mr. J. Most, did his Command Steppers annual event, which is always a barn burner. Was brought to my attention that there was some discrepancy in regard to some scoring and disqualifications. Because of that, and there being, once again, some things that people intend to try in the court of public opinion, we're going to take the moderation and mediation phase of this into tomorrow. So on tomorrow, I will be hosting a special edition of Inside Steppin', where Mr. J. Most and Mr. Kevin Doc Dockery will meet one another and hash out the details and discrepancies that have been, should I say, the alleged discrepancies that have been brought to light, and we are going to discuss them openly and publicly, and we're going to come to a happy medium in that regard. And while doing so, I want you all to understand that the reason why this is being done publicly is because this is a learning and teaching opportunity, a learning experience and teaching opportunity for the entire community. And in doing so, we not only are going to illustrate the way issues should be handled or resolved, we're going to also deal with what is now becoming an interesting set of circumstances where the steppers and competition community are concerned. In recent years, we've had a lot of ins and outs and differences of opinion in regard to what the competitive judging should look like, what it does currently look like, and what we can do collectively as a community and as facilitators of these events to make corrections, standardize, or put things in their proper perspective in a way where we can move forward in this community in harmony and in a way that allows us to keep these competitive situations respectful. Now, in order for that to happen, it's going to require that the promoters themselves be held to a particular standard. I'll discuss that further on tomorrow during the show. It will be held tomorrow at 7 Central, same time as this one. And to be clear, and I'm pointing this out particularly for a reason, because I want to show people that there's a level of cooperation that takes place among us in the media circle. And I did contact Mr. Sam Long, Mr. Red Carpet, to ask him, was he going to be presenting on his platform on tomorrow? And he told me that he was not. So I told him that I would like to go ahead and move forward with this conversation publicly on tomorrow, and he has I have his blessing to do so in that slot. So I'm showing you that I'm doing that out of respect for that man's space within the community, and that's something that we should all do moving forward as we work together to make sure that the general public gets the best opportunity to enjoy not only all of us, but to enjoy the community in a harmonious way. And it takes nothing more than levels of respect between us all as people who are moving to do things in the community or just being in the community itself. I've used this opportunity as a teaching experience to show that this is possible regardless of anybody's ideology or anyone's differences of opinion or whatever the case may be. We can still respect one another. So we're going to illustrate that even more so moving forward on tomorrow, 7 Central, right here on Inside Steppin' Special Edition. And we will be discussing the situation in regard to the competition that took place over the weekend and the discrepancies that came from that. So look forward to that on tomorrow. Now, moving forward, I'm gonna let me hit these quick points. We have upcoming events. Of course, we'll be in Las Vegas here June 26th through the 29th at the birthday celebration. My man Carmichael will be out there. Miss Maddie B will be celebrating her birthday along with Carmichael. We're going to have Myron R. and Mellow Chris on the ones and twos with DJ Scantron. My man Andre Blackwell, Jesse Roy, and they'll be out there doing the workshops, and we're going to have my man Devin Smith on the as an MC, and myself and the producer lady will be there, and we'll be doing our usual broadcast show, and we're going to be doing the doggone thing. So y'all get ready for that. That's out in Las Vegas, and we're looking forward to hanging out with my girl Nicole V and getting that situation off the ground. Now, Friday, July 11th, we're moving into the next month. We have, of course, the White Party Weekend out there at the world's largest ultimate White Party Weekend. My man Pete Frazier, and they're going to be out at Tinley Park doing the annual thing. And y'all know that's always a good set, so get ready for that. We got Crush and Cream coming up, 9th annual. That's going to be Little Rock, Arkansas, August 21st through the 24th. My man Ted the Boss Williams. We will be in the building, and it's going to be a great event. We got a really nice lineup on that set. My man Kevin Dockery, Pat Clay, Greg Dixon, and Ted the Boss Williams. The DJ and musical engineers on that event is going to be Eric E.T. Taylor, my man Pony Mac, DJ Fly Diva, Daryl Smooth Greenwood, and DJ Randy E., along with my man George Hilliard. Myself and Lamont Watts will be doing the broadcast on that thing. And also, let's not forget, you guys, Labor Day weekend. If you haven't already secured your room or gotten yourself together and ready for the homecoming, man, you need to take care of that. That is going to be probably historically the largest stepper set we've had in ever. And it's going to be, man, it's just going to be all inclusive. Everybody, man, you talking about everybody in the game pretty much coming into one place. That's going to be a first. And I encourage anyone and everyone to be a part of that, whatever you need to do at this stage of the game. They've already sold out over 2,000 slots in the rooms and things like that. And the hotel, I believe, is close to sold out. So you might want to look into that. Then, of course, the following couple of weeks after that, we've got the world's largest steppers contest. You know, Inside Stepping, we'll be in the building. We'll be prepared and ready to do our thing and make sure that everybody gets what they need. If you're not able to make it, we will be broadcasting that thing. So get your TVs ready. Be prepared. You dig? And then the very next week, we will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota with the 10th anniversary of Denim and Diamonds, one of my favorite events of the whole year. Very classy event. Everything about it is top notch, and you will have nothing more than a good time. It sold out last year. Let me encourage you to take part in that. And then, of course, we have Stepping in the Nation's Capital, October 16th through the 19th, out there with my man Norman Cherry and the Jackie Ballard. That's my girl. DC, y'all, you need to check that out. That is going to also be, that's another class act. Very good event. Great people. And, oh, is it really? The producer lady says the price of the rooms for DC is amazing. Let me see. Y'all know I can't see. They right here. See, she's telling me, where your glasses? She's gonna throw some glasses at me, y'all. Let's see. I don't have it on here. Oh yes, I do. Okay. No, I don't. We don't have the room price on here. Where did you see that at? Y'all see how she do me? She be throwing stuff. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah, you're right, producer lady. My bad. I'm sorry. The room rate is $149 with the code MS2025, and that is going to be at the Crystal Gateway Marriott, 1700 Richmond Highway, Arlington, Virginia, y'all. Because it is the DMV, and you got 3 states right there together. All right, now, where are we? Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, right now, I don't know how familiar y'all are. I know y'all love to dance and you love the music. But tonight, you guys, we have one of the premier stepper musicians. I know that sounds kind of crazy because, you know, we got people that mix music and do all kinds of things, but we have a couple of individuals in our community who actually make music that we groove to, that seem to focus a lot on what we do. One of them is this gentleman by the name of Rockwell Hallman. He is going to come in and talk with us tonight here momentarily, as well as ELLE. You want to know who ELLE is? I told y'all, these are people you need to know. People you need to know. People you need to become familiar with. ELLE is one of those people, and I'm going to tell you why. Especially if you're in the Chicagoland area. You're going to love this. All right? So, with no further ado, let me introduce you all to 2 dynamic individuals who have come together to collaborate on upcoming projects and that are going to do things that are going to help to move this dance forward, grow us all, and add to the archive of what history is going to dictate about what we do and what we did in this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ELLE and my man Rockwell Hallman. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's man?
Thank you,
So,
Brian.
yes, ma'am. It is absolutely my pleasure to have both of you on the show. Now, you guys, I mean, we've had some very vigorous and interesting conversation today ourselves, but I wanna start out first by giving my audience, L, what it is that you do. Now, the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your history? What does that look like in the Steppers community? When did you take your first steps?
Um, I guess I would have to say my first steps in stepping was taken back in the 1970s. You know, I was a wee teen.
Really? I thought you was about 25 now. Okay, but go ahead. I'm listening.
And I had family that lived in the projects, the Robert Taylors, and back then we referred to them as the Jets. And so, you know, we would go through there sometime and visit and hang out with our cousins. And then that is my initial introduction to bopping, right? And my boyfriend, my first boyfriend at the time, he was from the Robert Taylor projects as well. And I do distinctly remember that we would go to these parties, right? And the guys would just dance with each other, and they would really throw down, and then everybody would just like stand around, have them in a circle, and we would just amazed and watch. And I mean, the girls, we didn't dance. We watched the guys dance, you know, and they danced very ferociously and very competitively. So yeah, my boyfriend, his family, they grew up in 4444 South State, and one of his best friends, Larry, was in the federal building at 4500. So they were best friends, and those two would dance just very dynamically together. So that was my
Doing what we did,
initial,
getting down like we did back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Yeah, that's what's up. So you had early exposure. Uh,
Yes,
okay,
yes, yes. I was about 16 or so at the time.
okay, very good. So, um, what is it that, I mean, how is it that you were able to, I guess, maintain a sort of a passion or a love for the dance after all of these years?
Well, you know, as life goes on and we grow up, I ended up getting married, had a family. So I was
Life be
actually,
lifing.
life be life, right?
Okay.
So I was actually away from the culture, you know, a lot of years.
Hmm.
And I got divorced in 2016, and I was looking to restart my life, rebuild my life, and I wanted a social life. And a woman that I was friends with at the time, she kind of introduced me to the new stepping culture, and I started going out to stepping sets, and I didn't know how to step. I mean, I was a bopper from the past.
Right.
So the first couple years, I would just go and listen to the music because I'm an artist and I love music. You know, all different types of
A
genres.
musical artist?
I'm sorry.
A musical artist?
Well, not anymore. When I was younger, I did learn how to read music and play the piano,
Okay.
but my family couldn't sustain that. So eventually, over time, I kind of lost that knowledge from lack of practice in musical lessons. But I've done some acting, which is how I ended up creating this show, Step Therapy, because it's an outlet for my artistic creativity.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's really how I got into it, going to these stepper set, hearing the music that, you know, when you hear stepping music, at some point it's gonna make you want to learn that dance. So then I started taking stepping lessons and trying to learn this new 8 count step.
Got you. So you're a hybrid. You come from the old and into the new.
You know, that's true because when people say, what? They assume I'm old school. And I said, well, I'm kind of a new school, old school.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. So L, um, well, let me move over to Mr. Hallman, Rockwell Hallman. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you have heard this gentleman's music. You've danced to his music on many occasions at the step. If you a stepper and you've been to the set, you done danced off this man's music. Please believe it. And if you don't believe me, just look up Rockwell Hallman and you will see for yourself. We ain't gonna play no music tonight because we don't want no trouble out of these folks. You dig? But Rockwell, how are you, man? I want to
How you
thanks
doing?
for coming in. Yeah,
No problem. No problem.
yeah. So Rockwell, I'm going to ask you a very similar question, but I'm going to first answer, I guess, the question in that you are not and were not a stepper. What I
Correct.
want to know from you, sir, is how it is that you ended up being immersed in this community the way that you are. What got you over here with us in the steppers community? Where you from?
Well, I'm from New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
the East Coast. Um, and how I was introduced to the Steppers by the brother by the name of Pete Frazier.
Okay.
So he got in contact with me, I would say maybe 6 years ago. And he called me and he was saying, hey, man, this is Pete Frazier, whatever. I want you to come down to Chicago and perform for us one of your songs. I'm like, yeah. Like who? Like, you know, so
Like, wait, what?
yeah, I'm like Chicago. Like, so yeah, he said, we've been playing your song for a couple of years. And I'm like,
Mhm.
couple of years. So I'm like, okay, what song? Because I got a couple of songs out there. I said, what
Right.
song? And he said, Never Thought I Found Love.
I was about to say that, but go ahead. Keep going.
So I said, okay, okay, okay. So you listen to me. So I said, all right. So, you know, we set it up, we arranged it. Now he told me it was for a stepper event. You know what I thought
Mhm.
steppers was? I thought it was like in college. You know, when they do,
Fraternities and yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's why
I
we
was
have to
like,
put that handle on the front of it, Chicago stepping. That's why we have to
yeah.
put that on there. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to college, you know, you know, so it's all cool though. So when I got to Chicago, I realized how big this particular activity was, his dad's. And he told me, I met him and stuff, you know, and he was like, hey man, you know, it's huge. You know, we love your music. We've been dancing to your music for a couple of years. I'm like, a couple of years. So he said, yeah, yeah, yeah. He said, I'm telling you, we love your music. So I was like, I was curious. You know, I'm an artist, I'm a performer, but I was curious about this dance. You know,
Mhm.
because that was the focus. The focus wasn't me singing. It was about the dance. It was the world largest. So
Right.
I was like, let me check this out. And I went, did sound check and stuff. And
Can I put a bookmark right there?
yeah,
A funny thing about that sound check?
yeah.
I've actually got it recorded.
Do you really?
I do. I don't remember what happened or how I ended up with it, but what happened, I was there,
Okay.
and for whatever reason, I don't even remember how I ended up with it. I know I recorded it, but I don't remember why or what I was thinking when it happened. But I like think to myself was, that's old boy. And I hit record and I saved it and I still have it. But go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And all I can hear in the sound check was this little guy screaming. This little guy was like, ah, and that's Myron, you know, the R.
The R.
And so, whatever I did the show. But when I came down to the main event, to the actual to the event, I was like, wow, this, it was a lot of people, but I was intrigued with the dancing. I was like,
Hmm.
wow, these guys are moving. I mean, they moving their feet, jumping up, skipping, and turning around. I was like, wow, I was intrigued with the dance. I was like, wow, and I like the dance. I like it. I mean, I can't step.
Well,
Which
now
I need
see,
to
we gonna have to work on you, bro. Look, all these stepping folks around here, and you ain't stepping, and you making. I'm gonna tell you something, and this is just a theory,
yeah.
but I'm willing to bet you that if you actually got with the right instructor and
Yeah.
learned to step, I bet it would enhance the way you create the music that fits this genre of dance. I bet you $100 it'll work.
I think you're making a good point there, Brian.
I
I'm just
believe it.
that's just
I,
I'm pulling that rabbit out. I'm just saying. I bet you that would matter.
so here's the question: Who
Hmm.
can teach me?
Oh man, we got fantastic instructors, man, around the community. I'm not gonna go shouting out any names on the air because then I'll be, why didn't you say me? Why didn't you say? But we have people, man. Listen, it would be amazing. We always talk about our DJs. People love a stepping DJ, a DJ that's capable of playing the music and being able to dance at the same time. It would be amazing to have an artist who creates this music, who understands the vibe and gets in depth of the culture and really wraps themselves into and immerses in this thing, and to be able to allow that to move you to where the music makes you move the way you want to move. That would be
Right.
amazing, man.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just throwing that out there. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
I mean,
You know your
secretly,
phone gonna blow up, right? All the instructors gonna be calling you. Hey, man, I got you. I got you.
Is there anyone maybe in his area? Because Chicagoans have relocated all over this country.
Yeah, they have. Out east, I'm gonna have to. I would look into that one, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right off the top of my head. You're in Jersey. Do you frequent the DMV?
yeah.
I would talk to Norman Cherry and
I know
see
Norman. I did a
you.
show for Norman. Yes.
I would talk to Norman Cherry. That would be a good start in helping you to navigate, if nothing else, where you need to be or where you need to go. And he may even be able to give you the basic foundation. Because one thing about Norman Cherry, that man loved to dance. Boy, but let me tell you.
Mm.
Norman, if you're watching, 7-8. And he'll get that joke. It's an inside joke, but that's just a suggestion. L. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and put this out there right now. L has a very nice platform, you guys, and I want everybody to make sure that you take the time to look into this and look this up, because it is very important that she not only get the support that she deserves and needs, it is very good for the community. Now, it is a thing that y'all heard us say earlier. She does a little bit of acting. She's an artist. She's a creative. Y'all know I love creatives. But you're a bit of a thespian, as they would say. And
Yes.
it is called step therapy. Step therapy is it's a television show with the Can TV studio in Chicago. Now, it is a cable channel. Am I correct, Elle?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna get into that in 1 second. This is a TV show for steppers. Now, I want you guys to wrap your mind around something similar to Soul Train. You know what I would love to? Oh, wait, before let me. I'm about to jump out there. I got another idea. Okay. Anyway, Elle, tell us about your platform and give the audience some idea of what your vision is and what your hopes are for the future and what we could do to help enhance that.
Okay. Step therapy has basically been a labor of love. A show that I
It always is.
created. A show I created out of my passion
Mhm.
for music and acting, and over the past few years for stepping. So I merged those three areas together and came up with the concept of a stepping show, uh, a musical show where we can have steppers come out and participate in the audience and dance during the TV show, and then we can have various artists come out and like vocalists like Rockwell
Mm-hmm.
and sing their music that our stepper audience can step to during the show, as well as have some of our local community stepping instructors and personalities come out and do and perform demonstrations so the world can see the talent we have in this stepping arena. It's also a platform that I can use to give recognition and hopefully, spread the word about stepping in this original African American Chicago art form so that the
Yeah, I
world
like
would
that.
know about this particular art form. So TV has a massive reach. So I thought I would use that platform to reach as many people as possible.
That sounds wonderful. Um, Rockwell, we have several responses to instruction in that area. Kevin Steppin and Glampin Brewer, how you doing, Mr. Brewer? Says that Barbara Hawk teaches out of Jersey. Mary Alicia says Lucy Lou J teaches as well. So you have they
Okay.
say she throws an annual event over there in Trenton, New Jersey. So
Okay. Okay.
um, those are people that can be reached out to. And after the show, you can go back and look through the information here, and you can pick those people out and probably get some type of. We can get you some contacts and get you in touch with those people.
Sounds like a
Um, Angie Simmons says, "Sounds like the step-in version of Soul Train." Absolutely. So, with that, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, this is now I'm thinking that what will be great for you, L, is if we can get your platform built up to the place where we have people who literally come to Chicago just to participate in your on your platform and be able to showcase the step and style. Now, my question is to you, um, what was your motivation for putting this, I guess, on a cable channel versus the way kind of everybody else does the YouTubes and all of the different use the other platforms to do this? And I'm only saying that because I'm finding that statistically these days it appears that more people are now following YouTubes and TikToks than they are actual television.
yeah.
Um, can you bring us up to speed on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Originally, with my background being into some acting and having some experience on movie and TV sets,
Hmm.
I decided to pursue the television side because in the studio, it offered me everything that I need to produce the show. The room, the lighting, the audio, the cameras, everything is self-contained.
Okay,
So I use the studio, and because of economics, it's very affordable to use the community television station.
okay,
So after everything is produced and edited and released on television, after that point, once the TV dates are run, then I load it onto my YouTube channel, Step Therapy Chicago Step
got you.
In, so it can get further viewed. So my strategy is to, as stepping stones, use each platform to support the next platform. And of course, your other social media platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, I use all of them as well for promotion of the studio time and trying to attract and solicit steppers to come and dance in the audience and to promote the next studio date or upcoming shows. So they all work hand in hand.
Very good. Now I'm showing a little bit of a clip from the show. I love the studio view. I like the way everything really looks, and it gives you that sort of Soul Train feel. I like that because it kind of blends into our history the way things were.
Right.
I'm not going to put any music on there, because like I said, we don't want no trouble from them folks, you dig? But I got it up there, and now I'm intrigued now to the point where I want to know how do you decide who comes on your show?
Well,
Hmm.
at this point, it being a relatively new show, I don't have a lot of restrictions and criterias. Just basically people who have a love for the dance and they're willing to give their time and talent and come out to the studio a few hours while we're taping the show and just enjoy themselves. And we just have a really great time at this point.
So in other words, if I show up in Chicago, I can get in, right?
You can get in. The only criteria I have at this point is you have to have a partner. I don't provide partners. It could be a partner. It could be even a trio. So that's really the main requirement for access to the show.
Can I give you one more that I think a rule that you should have and should enforce?
Okay.
Come with some clothes on. I would hate for people to get so comfortable because we do have people who are so comfortable coming on the set in jogging pants and gym shoes and looking all crazy. Listen, I really want to see, and I know things have changed and stuff is different from then to now, but I really would love to see steppers begin to behave like the steppers that I'm accustomed to. Come with some clothes on. If it ain't nothing but some nice shoes, a pair of slacks, and a shirt. But please stop coming to these sets with these damn gym shoes and these jogging pants and looking like you on your way to go pump some iron and run track. We ain't doing that. This is stepping. Have some respect for the culture.
Yeah.
That's not part of our culture. I don't give a damn what nobody tell you. And you can tell them I said so. Send them to holler. Tell them to come see me. So I'm just saying.
Just
I'm
say
sorry,
it.
y'all. I had to rant a little bit. So what I have here from you. So the next schedule. Now, you've provided me with a schedule here. Are
Yes.
these the episode air dates, or are these the dates where people would come in and participate?
What you have there are two things. The first is the CAN TV air schedule, the dates
Okay.
that the show will be shown on television. And we actually have a date coming up really soon, tomorrow, June 10th,
Yes, June 10th, 10
channel
p.m.
19.
on
Yeah.
Channel 19 in Chicago, you guys. If you live in Chicago area and you are in the, you know, it's amazing. You would think people that you are close to would be watching my show, but they're not. Anyway, I could call my phone. Anyway, the air date now this is Channel 19 in Chicago, you guys. This is a cable channel. If you have cable access, then you'll be able to watch the show as it's aired. What you can do is these shows you do turn after air dates and upload them to YouTube, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now here, Elle, I'm sitting here and I mean all kind of ideas are popping into my head and I'm thinking that because what I would love to see is the participation. What I think you should do if you have not done this already, because I don't know what you have and have not done, but
I've sharpened my pencil, okay?
I would love to see you put out a flyer just like we do for a regular set. You need to put out flyers and let people know that this event is taking place at your studio. And you need to, put a number down. For example, I'm sure that the studio, based on its size, has a capacity. And you should say, we're looking, studio date, come in, dance on, in the studio with us, and this is the date, show up at this time, step or sharp, whatever you want to call it, and come join us and be a part of the show. This is how Soul Train was born. I mean, they put out, information to let people know, and they come and they get on stage and they dance and have a great time. This could be the beginning of something very, very big. And I would love to see it flourish, and you not only forget Channel 19 to turn this thing into a global phenomenon. People like you, I mean, you are now becoming a part of our media fold, whether you realize it or not. You are providing a media platform for Steppin'. So therefore, you need to act accordingly and make sure, listen to me, you need to. Let me stop. Some people say I'm a little overbearing. So I would encourage you to begin treating this like the powerhouse and like the beast that it is easily going to become if properly managed. And I think you have that under your belt there. And it is are you familiar with, thank you, Francine, the
Brian,
show?
I want to piggyback on what you just said, because one of my mentors and team members on the Step Therapy Creative team is Ambassador Kevin Nevels.
Yes.
And he did actually create a flyer, a plugger for the show. And we've posted it on various sites, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And we also pass them out at the various
Steppin' events
around Chicago. I sent you a copy too, so you would have it for your information.
Very good. And we'll be sure and share that on our page. Are you familiar with the past shows that have been aired that are similar to this?
Yeah, a lot of people liken it to one called
Step in the Club 7.
Step in the Club 7. There you go.
And I remember back in the day, with that was actually a really nice show. But let me show you something though. The differentiation for you now is that since that time, Steppin' has matured even more. And I think that it is now, they may have been ahead of their time, if you will. And I think that we are now in an era where it may even be more effective than it was at that time, because we have new attitudes and different perspectives on what we do now. And I think it would absolutely work very well moving forward on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think you should, check that out. You know what I'm saying? just a suggestion.
It's a small suggestion.
So, Mr. Hallman.
Yes.
I understand, as she stated earlier, she is in collaboration with the ambassador, Kevin Nevels, one of my DJ mentors, by the way, and that you all are going to be doing something moving forward as collectively on the show. Can you give us some details?
Well, yeah. You mean me and Kevin? Or me and
you and ELLE. Well, from what I understand, you have a single coming out?
Yes.
Tell us about it. Look, I'm waiting on that hot music, man. Come on.
Well, I have the good thing about being independent is I have my own production company, and I got my own studio, my own everything. So I can always release and throw records out anytime I want. So this would be my third album, actually, that I'm going to release. This will be the third one. And it's one of the songs that I kind of leaked out a little bit. It's called Shoop. I don't know, did you hear it yet?
Yeah, it kind of leaked over here in my
Can't keep nothing secret.
Listen, I'm a DJ. What can I tell you? I got friends. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's a hot track, bro. It is. I like it.
Thank you.
Well, and then not only that, and now in the past, you've worked with the likes of Tim Jones.
Oh, yeah.
The silly man himself. That dude is crazy. You know that, right? Tim Jones, if you're watching, yeah, I said you silly. Yeah, you are. No.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of the Chicago producers I work with. Tim Jones is one. A song I did with him called Promise.
Mm-hmm.
I did with Tim Jones. I did what else I did with Smooth. I did the song
Smooth with it. Yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. I love that one. That's hot. That's hot.
Thank you. And then I work with Marky G, my boy.
He brought your name up last night on Conversations. Reggie Miles had him on and they were interviewing, and Marky G absolutely brought your name up and talked about some of the work you guys have done together. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Are You Ready? A couple of songs I did with Marky. Marky is he's like my long distance brother. You know what I mean? He'll call me, hey, Rock. Marky don't even ask him, he just send the track.
Here you go. Sing over this.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Sound like something you would do.
Where can I get? But
yeah, he has a tendency to take liberties.
yeah. But I love his hustle. You know, I love that. Yeah, so this new project I'm coming out with. So Shoot will be out the end of this month, and like in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. That single will be out, so everybody will be able to get it on all media platforms. And then the actual album finally will be out in the early part of November. I'm looking at.
Okay.
So I think you guys enjoy it. I think you guys will like it, and see what happens. You know.
So let me ask you, as it pertains to now, you and I talked earlier. Yeah. And you made the comment that you are not necessarily an artist for steppers. It just so happens that you make music that steppers like.
Correct.
What does that look like for you moving forward? Do you has it affected the way you create, and the fact that you have a waiting and wanting audience? Do you have a tendency now to maybe do things that kind of move maybe in that direction just because we're here?
No, because if you do that, then
it messes up your creativity.
Yeah, the record, it's gonna sound like a robot, you know.
Okay.
So I have an R&B audience too. So I just create music, man. Whatever is in my heart, whatever I'm feeling, that's what I write. You know.
I'm glad you said that. Give the audience a little bit of your background. Musically, your sort of discography. How do you pronounce that? Anyway, look, I know my audience is like, I know he can pronounce that word, but anyway, they be messing with me when I can't pronounce something or spell something. It's like, I know doggone well he can. Anyway, give us some idea about your background, man. Your musical background. Where'd you come from? How did you get where you are?
Okay, so I started off in a city called Paterson, New Jersey. If you guys are familiar with this movie called Lean on Me, remember that? I don't know how. Okay, well, I went to that school, Joe Clark. I went to that school, and in that school, and actually in my class, I had a couple of artists that you guys are familiar with. That was actually they my boys, Donnell from Shy, Riff. The guys that actually sang the song Lean on Me.
Okay.
Chauncey Black from Blackstreet. We all was in that realm, and those guys, they got hooked up, started singing, and stuff started going. But I was like the best kept secret in the hood, as you may say.
Okay.
And one of the members from Riff was like, they was always trying to put me on. But it's funny because I wanted to do R&B, but I'm a PK, so I'm a pastor's kid. So my father was like, "You ain't singing that."
It's funny you say that because someone in the comments did just ask, "Do you sing gospel?"
Yes.
Okay. So that's a given because you're a PK. But go ahead.
Yeah, I come from the church. You might hear it in my voice, actually. So
yeah,
yeah, I come from that. And my mother would always say, "You gonna be the next preacher?" I said, "I don't know."
Mama had you pegged, Jack. She got you in the pulpit before you was 10.
Oh man, and I was always intrigued with because my boys was Riff and Donnell and them, and then what inspired me when I heard Donnell's single, that song "Fall in Love" by Shy. Now, if I ever fall in love, and I was like, man, I gotta get one of them songs. I gotta do it. And I got hooked up with a production out of New York called Carry the Music. And that's when I met Carl Thomas. And that's when we formed the group, The Formula. And I was signed on Epic Records for like 5-6 years. And that's when I learned the business. And boy, did I learn it. Yeah.
So they learned the business and gave you the business all at the same time.
And I learned the business, man. And I was like, it was actually tearing me up for wanting to sing, because it was so toxic, I mean, all of it wasn't bad, but a lot of it was, if you get what I mean. And so I just said, you know what? I don't want nobody to tell me what to do or how to do this. I know how to do this. And I formed a production company called Neo Factory. And then the rest started after that.
So you're an independent now?
Yeah, and I'm happy.
Now, it's funny you say that because recently we interviewed Carmichael Music Lover. Yeah. And he and I asked him a very similar question in regard to his production and what it looked like for him in terms of mainstream music. And he told me he was not interested in anything mainstream. Do you have similar feelings about that?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Carmichael, he's my boy. So we talk all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's mainstream is you gotta have you know what? You gotta really love the art of music to deal with mainstream, because you're gonna take some hits, you're gonna take some bruises, you're gonna take some downfalls, it's a lot come with it. What keeps you alive is the love of music that you love, and I ran out.
So you ran out of love. Like,
yeah,
oh my God.
I love everything. I said, shoot, forget that. So I felt better, started my own thing, doing my own music. I felt free. I can do what I want to do. And then I can create better that way, Yeah. Like right now, I can get off the phone with you and go to my studio and do a song if I want to,
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Freedom is amazing when it comes to your creativity, man.
Oh man, it's the best in the world.
Yeah. And best. I think all three of us have that in common. Just the ability to be the creative that you are without restriction and no boundaries. And it is an amazing thing to be able to let it flow, really especially when you're in your zone, when you get in your space and you just kind of do it,
Yeah.
That's an amazing feeling. It really is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so Miss ELLE, ma'am, you have wait a minute, the flyer that you sent me, is that a current flyer that would allow people to know where to participate in your airings?
Correct. The current flyer is basically calling all steppers. We're trying to encourage people to come on out and participate in the studio. We're going to be taping another episode on August 23rd. That's a Saturday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. And we're reiterating, you must have a partner. If you don't have a partner, you're not going to be able to participate. So, your partner could be, a brother, a boyfriend, a husband. It doesn't matter. We don't
somebody
care.
To dance with. Bring somebody to dance with.
Bring somebody to dance with, right? So, and we had a wonderful turnout when we taped our show back in March of this year when we were in the studio, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I'm looking forward to the same type of camaraderie and turnout like we had in this past March. But yeah, once again, that's August 23rd. That's a Saturday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. We're looking for steppers to come on out with your partner. You do need to register because there is a capacity limitation in the studio.
Right.
So we have to know how many people are to expect. So register. There's a phone number that you can text your first and last name and your cell phone number. Text that information to us so that we can put you on the list of studio steppers.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
I noticed that you have date gaps, if you will. Um, from what is the frequency of recording for your show?
Well, right now we don't have a consistent schedule. Originally, this production was a one-man show, me. Okay.
That's how it starts.
So, I basically would, get the downloads, the ideas, and then I would start organizing. I create the show, I produce the show, I host the show. But now I do have a small team that was excited to join me, and I really appreciate their enthusiasm and their support. And again, that's Ambassador Neville's and another young lady, Trisha Porsche, and they've been just a really big help in helping me getting things accomplished and preparing for our next show. So now that I have a creative team, they are creative producers. We anticipate being able to do shows more frequently and get on a consistent schedule as well as grow and move into a larger
Larger
studio
space. Yeah.
where we can have sponsors to help us with the production of the
Them
show.
good commercials.
Exactly. And right now
Hey,
we have kind of limitations in the community studio. Some things are you just can't do. It's prohibited
right.
because they work off of grants as well. So we
Mhm.
have to adhere to their requirements. We
Absolutely.
do have restrictions.
Well, teamwork make the dream work. So
There you go.
we gonna see if we can't join the team ourselves over here and help you
Yes,
see
we
your
want to
dream
grow
come to
this.
fruition. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a beautiful thing. I like it. Like I said again, with all due respect to the previous efforts made to do what you are doing, much like Inside Stepping. A lot of people don't know this, but there was a magazine called Inside Stepping that
I thought I
focused on
remembered
step.
the magazine
Yes,
called
prior
Inside
to this
Stepping.
show, and respect to them. I feel like I'm basically picking up the torch and carrying it forward on this platform. But just as an example, we are no longer necessarily reading magazines or things of that nature because of the change in technology. And in the
Right.
maturity of the dance and the maturity of the culture, we're now at a place where what I'm doing, myself, Reggie Miles, and other individuals who are helping to bring forward the information through these platforms, through these media platforms, it is us coming into a time where the technology is matching what the audiences want. So very much in the same way, your platform uh, is now filling a void that is no longer there, and also the maturity of the dance now may make it more conducive to that being a thing, and help to again advance the dance. I tell anyone and everyone in this regard about doing anything within this community or just in life in general. Consistency is critically important.
Mhm.
And if it's something that you're not prepared to do, I have people lately. I've seen a lot of people begin to want to. They're putting cameras up at events and they're doing videos and things like that. And you have people that want to start doing the things that I do myself and others who are making attempts at doing this thing. Anybody can try it, but you have to have their particular criteria. One, you have to have the willingness to do it. Two, understand there ain't no money in it. Three, you're going to spend a lot of money doing it. Four, you have
Exactly.
to have the personality to pull it off. And five, you got to be consistent. If you're not, that's why I don't care where I am. And people have seen me do this. I did a show one night. I was on my way home from Chicago, which is an 18-hour drive from Chicago to where I live in San Antonio, Texas. And it was on a Tuesday. But when 7 o'clock hit, I was literally on the air doing my show, driving down the highway. So
Wherever, right?
it does not matter. At 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, I'm gonna be live. Now, if I'm not live, I will run a rerun, but it's very, very rare. I think the last time I ran reruns was the end of last year. We took off for the Christmas holiday. We took off a couple of weeks, so I ran reruns that weekend. But I mean, those couple of weeks. But other than that, the reason I do it this way is because it ain't for me, because I'm not, ain't nobody making no $1 million over here. This is for the people. The things that we do, and Rockwell and I were discussing this earlier.
Yeah.
What we do is for the individuals out here that make the game better for everybody. And there was somebody else I was talking to today. I talked to so many people because of all of the stuff that's going on. But what you have to remember is that, and what I will always remember is that without everybody else, we're nothing.
Yeah.
Without the people.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I believe it was Kevin Dockery I was talking to. And he made the point of saying that, when people come to these contests, just as an example, they're coming a lot of times because of who's participating in them.
Mm-hmm.
Without those people, what are you really competing for? Because although there's money involved in the competitions, there's also the currency. The real currency is the people.
Yeah.
If I don't have people who benefit from what I do, if they're not learning something, if they're not growing from it, if I can't mentor another individual through what they're trying to do, then what we're doing is pointless.
Yeah.
When we make music, Rockwell, I know you love your music, but the truth of the matter is you make your music for who?
For people. Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
ELLE, you put your show on, you have your platform for the people who want to dance and love to dance. It's for who? It's for the other people. It's for the people who tune in to watch these people do their dance. It's about growth. It's about us, the collaboration of us coexisting in a space with a common bond on that wood.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really the end result of everything that we all do. And sometimes people don't realize how much work, time, and energy goes into what we do to make that possible for their entertainment. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
We are the hoi polloi, you know what I'm saying? The common man, the everyday people. That's what we do. And every now and then, a couple of us stand out to make it better for others.
Yeah.
That's leadership. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
The crown. I like that.
So,
Ladies
and gentlemen,
I would love to be able to see Steppin' get to the point where it is just nationally recognized. It's in the books, along with salsa and all the rest of the other, established dances, and for our community to get credit for creating this particular dance art form. So we have to keep pushing it and promoting it and lifting it up so that the whole world knows about it, and
absolutely,
globally, across the world, And then there's so many benefits of stepping. It's a great full body workout. And I was doing some research, and it was talking about how dance helps prevent Alzheimer's because when you're dancing and doing stepping, like that 8 count pattern, when you perform those pattern, it helps those patterns. It helps the brain build new neural sensors, trying to learn those steps. So it also helps with your memory. Okay, so it's really important to be involved actively to keep your brain moving as well as your body, so
absolutely,
that we're not slipping into illness from physically not moving and from mentally not exercising our brain. And stepping helps us exercise our brain as well as reduce blood pressure. It helps reduce your A1C if you're diabetic. Um, Again, a full body workout. There's just, and it's the social part of it, like when I said I got divorced and I was like looking to rebuild my life, and it helps you make friends and you go out and you have fun. It also, when you step, when you dance, it produces a hormone called oxytocin, which
Mm-hmm.
is considered the happy chemical in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when people are stepping, they feel so good and we're smiling and we're laughing. So it really helps with your mood and enjoy life besides the social interaction. And maybe you might get a new boyfriend or girlfriend. Who knows?
Yeah, be careful with that one. Well, it's interesting that, and I'm glad you added that perspective to it, especially the medicinal additions, because I'm going to tell you the other thing is this. When you said that it helps, with the Alzheimer's and things of that nature, you know what immediately popped into my head?
What?
All of the other things that it helps. It helps people get past abusive scenarios and situations in their life. It
Mhm.
helps people get past addictions. It helps
Yeah.
people get past. So, listen, I'm going to put this out there right now. There's a young lady over in Arizona. You may or may not know her. Many of you do. Miss Angie Fain. Angie Fain began a project several years ago that I really hope and pray that she finishes, where she went and she got lots of information from people who literally have discussed their personal lives and how this dance saved it, how this dance was able to bring them through hard times, through divorce, through death, through addiction, through abuse, many situations that a lot of us in this community have suffered through, just loss, just all sorts of things. And what's amazing about it is that, for example, when Rockwell makes his music, there are people who listen to that music and they get lost in it. Music is the soundtrack of our life. And
Yes.
when
Yeah.
we are able to hear good music and we are taken away and taken back by that dance and that movement and that flow and that sound and everything that's all together, the touch of other hands. See, a lot of people don't really understand. You got a lot of people that want to be independent. They know, I don't need nobody. They walk around crazy out here, but let's keep it a buck. We not only come and do this dance because we enjoy the dance itself, but the ability to fellowship with one another and
Yeah.
actually touch another human being. I
Yes.
heard a young lady not long ago who has, I'm guessing, sort of taken herself out of the intimacy arena where the opposite sex is concerned, make a comment where she said, "This is the closest thing I could get to having a man touch me without taking it too far." And I
Mhm.
thought that that was very interesting. And I find that many of us, whether we recognize it or not, actually do that. This is an opportunity for us to just really be in close contact with one another. Human beings are intended to be social. We're intended to
Yeah.
be together. We're intended to share space and time and energy and anything else that we interact with one another about. And I think that what you're saying absolutely holds credence, and it is something that we should all give lots of thought to in our journeys together throughout this stepping diaspora. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, y'all.
Uh-huh.
It's a
Just
beautiful thing. All right. So with that said, Rockwell, where is your next event? Where will you be next? Where could if somebody wanted to come out and see Rockwell Hallman sing, where would they find you?
okay. Well, you can go on my Facebook page. I post
Mhm.
there. You can go on my Instagram page, which is Music Rockwell. Um, and I post everything. I let you know all my dates and what's going on, how you can contact me, or how you can follow me going forward with my music.
Very good. L, how do people reach out and find you?
Well, you can always go to our step therapy Facebook page. It's basically step therapy. And we have a YouTube channel, and the link is on the Facebook page, or you can put in the search bar on YouTube, Step Therapy Chicago Step In, and you will find our YouTube channel. We do have a phone number as well where you can always call or text 312 785 8228. That's 312-785-8228. If you're interested in stepping in our studio audience, and just text us your first and last name of you and your partner and a cell number for each of you so that we can stay in contact with you and give you updates.
Now, let me tell y'all, when you go to the YouTube channel, and I'm telling you this from experience, don't just put in step therapy. Put in either Chicago Steppin' Step Therapy or Step Therapy Chicago Steppin'. And the reason you want to do that is because those are two very, and in case any of you know anything about algorithms and social media and stuff like that, you will play hell finding it. So just make sure you put Chicago Steppin' there and it'll come right up. And do not forget to hit those subscribe buttons. When y'all hit Rockwell Hallman's page or y'all hit ELLE's page, make sure you hit those subscribe buttons and you make sure you hit those ringers, so that you can always be in touch with what's going on with either of these dynamic individuals who contribute greatly to our community. I love it.
Right. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You too, Al.
You want to interview me now? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
All right. Look, what's up with Italian beef in Chicago?
Man, what? Oh,
With the what?
Bro, Italian beef. Quit playing. Quit playing.
What's the story on that?
Italian beef is the corned beef of New Jersey. How about that?
Oh, okay.
I like that.
You did.
I like it. Okay.
All right. Now you got to understand it.
So now you got to understand it.
Okay.
See, I had to give him that geographic knowledge. Put things in proper perspective for him. You did.
That was a great analogy.
Now, do you eat it wet or you eat it dry? Like,
I prefer mine wet. I always get my Italian beef with hot peppers dipped. Dip mine.
Dipped.
A lot of hot pepper, extra hot peppers dipped. I got to have it. Baby, what you said. Look, matter of fact, on my way leaving Chicago last week, we were leaving Shine Entertainment's reunion party, and we were getting ready to get on the plane, and I caught me a quick Portillo's on the way to the airport, and I ran up in there, and I grabbed me an Italian beef dipped with hot peppers, and then I had to deal with TSA for a few minutes. I don't know if I told y'all my experience with TSA last week. Oh boy, I thought I was gonna get cavity searched. They was trying to drag me up in there. They was looking at me sideways. You know, I had all them bags with all that equipment. You know, what is this? What is, man, if you don't give me my stuff. But anyway, when I finally got into the airport, they had delayed our flight for a couple of hours. Wow. So I sat there at the table in the food court area, man, and enjoyed my Italian beef, man. Don't play no games.
Taking no hostages.
You heard me. You already know, like, don't even look over here. Yeah, so that's what it is. Rockwell, do you have anything you want to leave us with on the way out?
I just wanted to, I definitely want to tell you, thank you for having me on the show, you and your wife. I appreciate you guys. Elle, thank you for inviting me on the show. I won't disappoint you. So that's going to be good. And I just want to say something to all the starving artists. Never stop believing in yourself. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay focused. Don't care what nobody tell you, if you can make it or if you're good or if you're not. If you love yourself, you are already a winner. Trust me, you're already a winner. And go after your dreams. Don't stop. Don't stop. I tell my son this all the time. I say, look, life is hard, but you control it. You know, you control which way it goes. You might have some bumps, you might have some bruises, but how you come out of it is the answer. It's how you're going to be. So I'm just telling anybody, man, whatever you dream to be, go after it, man. We got so much negativity in the world. We got so much haters in the world. People don't want you to be successful. People don't want you, you know, they don't want you to grow. You know, they don't want you to be nothing, man. I mean, they'll follow your page, follow everything you do just to hate on you.
Wow.
You're
what
like,
you say?
Man, I got all these followers, and that one particular one ain't said nothing.
That part right there. Boy, what you said. You said a mouthful right there.
You keep them because, you know, that's the motivation factor. So, you know, whoever listening, man, go after your dream, believe in yourself, and surround yourself around energy. Energy is big, it's real. Energy is real. Whatever you around, whatever around you, and if that energy not right, man, get rid of them.
Get
Get rid of them.
away from it.
Get it gone.
And
That's
believe
right. I agree.
get away, man. Get away, man. Because bad news travel real fast, and
Like
haters travel
wildfire.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. So
I think they have an old saying that goes, a lie be done ran around the world 3 times before the truth get his shoes on.
you got that right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got that right.
All right. So, Miss L, would you like to leave us with any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I agree with Rockwell 100%. And one thing I would add too is to be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Sometimes we
I
get
need to work on that.
we get disappointed in things and in life, and then we beat ourselves up mentally.
Yeah.
So just stop having those negative mental conversations with yourself. Stop it. Be
I
kind
like
to
that.
yourself. Encourage your own self. You know, you are your biggest fan and champion. And Brian, I want to thank you too for having me on your show. I really appreciate you
Thank you.
helping me get the word out. And I just love it that Rockwell is going to join us and he's going to entertain us and share his art and his creativity with us. And the Steppers, I know they're going to love dancing to your music. So I look forward to having you on the show August 23rd, Saturday, August 23rd, 3 to 6 o'clock at Can TV Studios.
If I wasn't gonna be in Little Rock, Arkansas that weekend, I would come.
I know you would.
We gotta be in Little Rock. We got Crush and Cream that weekend. My man Ted the Boss Williams over there. And then we'll be in Chicago the following week. But listen, I want to thank both of you all for your time and your energy, especially because like you said, energy is real big. And I personally am blessed to have been able to have you share your energy with me. And you guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. I love creative people. I love people that are working toward their goals. And of course, I love people who are always willing to offer words of wisdom as you have and to be able to help the next person because somebody needed to hear whatever it was that you had to say. Me being one of them, of course, because I literally just had a conversation with myself. I believe it was either this morning or yesterday where I need to be more kind to myself. I tend to beat myself up for stuff that really ain't got nothing to do with me. So, and these are lessons that we learn, life be life. And we have to, we have to work as we go. And I appreciate both of you for enhancing my life and my space in this show and giving these people what they need out here in your time and space. Oh, look, it's the producer lady.
Thank you. And I'm going to be kind to myself and buy a pair of shoes. How about that?
There you go.
See what I got to put? You see what I got to put up with? This is what I'm talking about. So, listen, you guys, thank you so much. Looking forward to your upcoming show. Looking forward to your upcoming release. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we're going to get back to you on the backside. And I hope this is not the last time we all talk because I enjoyed this thoroughly. Thank you.
No, definitely. We'll do more.
Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ms. ELLE and Rockwell Hallman. And let me tell y'all something. That man got some fire music. But look, I'm not going to play none of it because I don't need no static from these folks. And, even though he's an independent, we don't want to, I don't feel like arguing with nobody about what belongs to who and all that sort of thing. Again, you guys, stay tuned on tomorrow. Let me put this out there one more time. On tomorrow, we will be going live Inside Steppin' Special Edition, where we will discuss the results of J Most Command Steppers contest over this past weekend and the apparent discrepancy that has been alleged, and we're going to talk about it at length. Mr. J Most and Kevin Doc Dockery will be joining us on that show, and we're going to do our best to have a moderate conversation, and we're going to lay it out in the most professional way and show the rest of the community how things need to be resolved. And we will come to a happy medium before that show is over, and we will let the cases of each side be laid out and the air be cleared. So you guys get ready for that. I'm looking forward to it. Both are great gentlemen, both very professional, both people whom I respect, and I hope that we are able to get to a place where, at some point, there is a standardization of our rules and regulations in regard to the competitions that we all love to watch. Well, let me take that back, because some of y'all just be like, I don't want to watch nobody dance, but I can assure you that many of you would benefit from it. So, in moving forward, we will hopefully be able to get some clarity about what happens at some of these contests and what needs to happen at some of these contests, so that we, the audience, the people who love this dance so much, are able to better digest what we see and understand it a little more clearly, and not just some, when you're watching somebody do something and you think that it's something and it's really not. Which will also help a lot of us improve our dance. Us, we, they, them, us, together, one. All right, with that said, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with your boy tonight and doing the damn thing and enjoying each other's company, like we talked about earlier on the show, and being able to fellowship. And although we're not able to touch one another currently on this platform, we will see each other on the wood. So take advantage of those things and enjoy each other, respect each other, and just love on each other. And if we do that by starting with respect for ourselves, the rest of the community will benefit and grow from it. And with my favorite quote as we leave, never measure an event by the quantity of people in attendance, but by the quality of memories you create with the people who are present. You hear that? With the people who are present. You cannot have a good time without the other people. You'll be there all by yourself. Who you gonna dance with? What you gonna do? The people. It's all about the people. Have a great night, y'all. Love you, and it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Hey, did you have my food ready? Oh, no. Peace, y'all. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts. Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers, and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.